Hey guys, Rick from Invo Gaming back with another unboxing and let's play video. I'm going to be going over Renegade Legion Interceptor from SSI and FASA with you today. Now, Renegade Legion was one of the franchises that FASA produced back in the 90s alongside Shadowrun and Battletech. Now, unfortunately, this one hasn't had a revival yet, unlike Shadowrun, which was recently released, and Battletech, which is still going strong. So I'm hoping it'll get some attention pretty soon. It was a great setting. It was something like Future Romans in Space or something like that. Anyways, so this was a great turn-based space combat sim based on their board game version. Let's take a look at the box here so you can see the cover art came from the board game version. We got the blue format label. On the back, screenshots and a description of the game. Now what's interesting to note is all the screenshots are from the IBM version. Now, SSI back then was really good for releasing their games on multiple platforms for like Atari, Amiga, Apple, and Commodore, but I think for this one, they only released it on the IBM. Let's see, open up here, and first thing we have are some fighter recognition cards with some in-game stats on them and some background fluff. And again, used for copy protection, so the game would ask you for a particular stat from a particular fighter, and you'd have to enter it in, otherwise the game would exit or wouldn't save. So a lot of variety in fighters that were included in the game. Came on a single floppy disk, low density I think, so 360K. Here we have a pretty thin manual, so in this case it would mostly be instructions on how to play the game. Not a lot of background fluff. Some stats. Got a flyer for an SSI game. A t-shirt order form for Renegade Legion or TOG. Installation guide. Quick start and some mission descriptions. And here we have a FASA catalog for their RPGs and board games that they produced. So here we go, the original Shadowrun. You can tell this was even like placeholder art, because you can see here it's pretty much drawn in with markers, so it wasn't production art yet. Some miniatures that they produced, and of course Battletech. An ad for the original MechWarrior game, so far cry from MechWarrior Online and the upcoming MechWarrior 5. Still a great game though. And Renegade Legion. And Star Trek, back when they had a license to produce Star Trek games. Have an SSI catalog. Again, mostly a lot of like World War II or Civil War strategy games or Dungeons and Dragons games. I don't think they produced many other types of games until like the mid-90s, when they had to diversify in order to stay in the market. And that's it. So let's get to playing. Okay, let's start playing. And that was the intro. So no intro movie, no little background information on the game, just some credits. Go ahead and load a pre-made squadron here. And just to show you what the character creation's like, we'll go ahead and dismiss this guy. Add a new pilot,
Let's put him in the Legion. Cassaris female, or why not? Why not? So here is where you select what fighter you want to assign based on the prestige or money available to your pilot. So select this one and we can view it. And see, it's really good for armor. It's maxed out almost all around. Now, what's interesting is the damage model that's in the game. Different weapons have different damage templates. Like a laser will just carve a straight line through your armor, whereas like a missile will gouge out like, like a cone-shaped damage template. So you can actually like fire a missile and it'll gouge out, let's say, like these these 16 squares here, and then the laser, if it strikes in the same area, will go right on through the remaining armor. Even though you have like plenty of armor available left in other areas on the front of your ship, it'll still go through and damage your internal structure. And you'll see that when you're playing the game. Head and click OK. Requisition. Oh, actually, you can also create your own fighter, which is really, really neat because just in the amount of customization options that are available for like your engines and weapons and shields, like you can totally make yourself a nice little tank that can barely move. Add things like turrets. Oh, right. So pretty well armed, well armored fighter, but it can only move pretty much 1G per turn. Nope. And we'll just dismiss this guy again. And we'll add back one that we dismissed. And let's start a mission. So 4,000 years in the future, and we're back to using the good old dot matrix spool printers. Yep, makes sense. Okay, so it's a hex-based map, just like the board game version. And for this one, we're just pretty much just flying towards each other. So we can switch to a hex view, which is really good when you're trying to position your ship. Or dots. Let's go back to star map. We can see on the strategic view where they are in relation, because it's really easy to get disorientated since it's a pretty basic game. Okay, let's go back to the tactical view and we'll just fly forward. So this is where we can adjust our velocity, so we can increase or decrease our speed based on our maximum, our safe operating thrust of 6. So if we go any higher, we'll lose control, so no. Okay, nobody has targets in range. And we'll just keep on going forward. And we better slow this guy down. now we should be in range. So we go weapons. And blue means it's in range. Red means it's not in range or not in the firing arc. Okay. And we can examine the enemy fighter. So light fighter, not a lot of armor, decent shield. So if I had like a heavy laser and it got through the flicker shield, it would cause like a straight line of damage and go right into the guy's internal structure. Even though he has plenty of armor remaining on the ship, it's basically a template based damage model. Okay. Let's aim for the guy right in front. So only heavy lasers are in range. Okay. Believe it or not, those sound effects were actually pretty cool at the time. Okay, not a lot of damage done on the first round, but we're at long range, so let's close on in. So fortunately, you can't physically collide with other fighters in this game. Otherwise, this would end pretty quickly. Okay, so almost everything should be in range now, so I'm going to click new. I'm going to fire my dumbfire missile, followed by my medium lasers, and hopefully my large lasers will, if they hit in the exact same spot, should punch through and do a lot of internal damage to this guy. Okay. And fire at the guy straight in front. Again, firing the dumbfire missile, medium lasers first, then heavy lasers. Okay. And we'll fire at that guy. And we'll fire the weapons that are in the correct arc. Here we got EPCs and NPCs, so electron particle cannons and NPC particle cannons. So they both do different types of different shapes of damage. Like here, let me show you in the manual here. So you can see all the different types of weapons have different damage profiles. So you can easily, so it's important that you fire weapons in like certain orders. Let's say you fire like this weapon here, you can see it's going to gouge out a huge chunk of armor, and then you fire your like laser to punch through the remaining armor. You can actually destroy a ship even though it has like a lot of armor and a lot of shields left. It's all based on like the templates. Back okay, and just go okay. Okay, so we've done some internal damage to this guy, so we've taken out one of his bow weapons. Hopefully a cannon. Okay, so now we get into some good positioning. So let's see if we can end up right behind this guy. There we go. The problem is with this game is it's really hard to tell when you're in Big Furball who's moved and who hasn't moved. I mean, you can go in and see, I think, nope. Back out. There we go. You can click previous to see who moved previously and who's going to move next. but it's really hard to see, like, have that information like right there on screen. So okay, I think this guy's taking a lot of damage, so let's examine. So okay, so he got a whole bunch of hits, but thanks to template damage, he's only lost, like, he's lost the armor evenly across the front instead of like having a deep gouge here and like no damage up here. Nope, that's gonna overshoot. Let's risk it. So, whew. Oh no, crap. Uh-oh. A little bit of poor positioning for me for this round. Yep, this is gonna be tough. You can see, like, these are laser hits with the straight damage profile, so I hit him twice. Unfortunately, not in the same spot. If that had hit in the same spot, it would have taken out the first 2 points there and done 3 points of damage internally. Hopefully we'll get him this time. Just make sure all the weapons are selected. Okay. Let's aim at the fighter in front so we can fire all weapons. Of course, no targets. Okay. Medium lasers, then heavy lasers. Okay. Okay, we've done some damage to him. We've destroyed a couple mounting points, but nothing, no weapons are there. Otherwise, it'd show a red triangle. Oh, so we've taken out his weapons control and life support. So weapons control, I believe it decreases your ability to to make a successful hit. Oh, even more. So internal damage is 13 now, and now we've damaged out or shortened his shield sink. So with shields, they flicker on and off to allow your weapons through and to block enemy weapons. So if the shield's out of sync, the chances are increased that your weapons won't fire or that enemy weapons will not be deflected by the shield. Oh, so because his life support was out, he went into he became unconscious. And since my ship's out of control, I have the option to eject and abandon my ship. I don't want to do that. Hopefully I can regain control. And we'll just park right behind this guy. Let's see if we can get better positioning. There we go. Nope. There we go. So let's examine. So you can see, oh, we must have gotten a couple lucky hits on the side and the rear because the armor is completely gone here. So if I have another shot and it's lucky and it goes through here, it's gonna do a lot of damage internally. But you can see here it's pretty well shielded because there's 2 little bits of armor that are keeping this entire chunk in place. So weapons, okay, okay. Uh-oh, I'm taking a bit of damage. There we go. Yay, I got a kill. Oh yeah, this guy's gonna be hurt. Combat is all simultaneous, so see I was still firing at the destroyed fighter. So if that fighter was facing me and he had weapons targeted on me and I destroyed him first, he'd still be able to fire. Oh, spun around, so my ship's still out of control. I'm still gonna select no. Okay, so I'm moving first, so I'm going to try and position myself to where I think an enemy fighter is going to be so I can get some shots in. So, okay, so that guy moved and that guy moved. Hopefully. There we go. It's safe, and we'll go further out and just turn around. So most everybody should shoot, even the guy that's out of control. Yay. Okay. So let's fire at that guy in front. So his left side and his rear are solid. Okay, we might be able to get a couple lucky hits. So you can see it's all pretty much just been laser hits on this guy because of the straight damage profile. Let's see if he has any internal damage. It's all okay. That's all okay. So yeah, he's just taken armor damage. Let's try and change that. There we go. So he can't eject now, so if I destroy his ship, he's going to be trapped inside. And now we've finished the battle now that the last enemy fighter is disengaged from the fight. Okay. And yeah, so let's see, all our fighters are pretty much damaged. Let's see how bad. So not so bad. Armor's pretty intact all around, so we just need to repair. Now, you might get unlucky, and in the middle of repair, you get an alert, which starts another mission immediately before you've had a chance to repair your armor. So, wow. So, just this little tiny bit in the corner left. So, on some missions, depending on how well you do, you will get awarded with a medal. I'll show a quick screenshot of what that looks like. So yeah, that's what getting a medal depends on, like how much damage you do or like how many kills you get in a mission. It doesn't really do anything. It's just, you know, just for display. And you have your kill markers. Let's see how this guy did. Pretty intact, although if he took a shot right there, it would have done internal damage along with this huge gap here. You see this armor is being held up by that tiny little point of armor. Still intact. So you can see, yeah, so he took 2 hits in a row from the same from the same type of weapon on the exact same area. So it did this little cone-shaped damage. Then the next hit went through that hole and did another cone-shaped of damage. So you can pretty much undercut the armor if you get lucky with your hits. You can take out like an entire huge portion if you get lucky and target it just right. Let's see how my ship did. My ship, all pretty much intact. Save the squadron. And that's it. Well, I hope you enjoyed this unboxing and playthrough video. So please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and we'll see you again. Thanks for watching.